Ever notice how the universe seems to have a twisted sense of humor? One minute you're binge-watching your favorite actors' films, and the next thing you know you're reading about their passing. Today, we're diving into the lives of some absolute legends who've recently left us. We'll honor their legacies, and maybe even learn a thing or two about what made them so iconic. But first, why does it seem like the legends always go too soon? Seriously, what's the deal? Join us as we take a heartfelt and sometimes sarcastic look at some stars who made history, right before the credits rolled on their lives. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with a name that's probably etched into your brain forever. Maggie Smith. Yes, the same Maggie Smith who owned the screen as Professor McGonagall in Harry Potter. But what if I told you her career started long before she ever waved a wand on screen? Born on December 28, 1934, in Ilford, Essex, Maggie had the kind of career most actors dream about, and she didn't need CGI dragons or magic spells to do it. She earned her first Oscar for her role in The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie back in 1969. Yep, long before Hogwarts, she was already crushing it. And she didn't stop there. A few years later, she bagged a second Oscar for California Suite in 1978. I mean, 2 Oscars, multiple BAFTAs, Emmys. The woman could literally do it all. And while the world may have fallen in love with her through the Harry Potter series, real fans know she killed it as the sharp-tongued, witty Dowager Countess in Downton Abbey. Her one-liners? Savage. If you've ever had a moment where you wished you could be as cool as Maggie in Downton Abbey, you're not alone. Maggie passed away on September 27, 2024, at the age of 89, peacefully in her home in London. And while we may never hear her deliver another cutting remark on screen, her performances? Unforgettable. So here's a question. What's your favorite Maggie Smith moment? Is it her no-nonsense goggle or her sarcastic dowager? Drop it in the comments below, and let's celebrate the Queen of British acting. Next up, we have someone who you may not instantly recognize by name, but if you've ever watched Extreme Makeover Home Edition, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Eduardo Xol. I know you're probably thinking, wait, the designer guy? Yep, that's him. Eduardo was born in Los Angeles on February 19, 1966, and fun fact, he didn't even start out wanting to design homes. Nope, he was actually a classical pianist and studied music at UCLA. Talk about a plot twist, right? Eventually, Eduardo made a leap into TV, where he became famous for transforming homes on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. His designs weren't just beautiful, they changed people's lives. I mean, how often can you say someone redesigned your entire house in a week? He wasn't just making houses pretty, he was giving people hope. Eduardo passed away on September 20th, 2024, at the age of 58 due to a heart attack. Gone too soon, but the impact of his work still lives on. What was your favorite home renovation he did? The ones that always got me were the makeovers for those families who'd been through really tough times. If that doesn't make you cry, are you even human? And now, for a name that truly brings the 80s back to life. Kat Glover. You might know her as the dynamic dancer who tore up the stage alongside Prince. Yep, that's right, Prince. If you ever saw a Prince performance and wondered, who's that firecracker dancing like she owns the place? That was Kat Glover. Born Catherine Vernice Glover in Chicago on July 23, 1966, Kat had rhythm in her bones. Her big break came when she started dancing for Prince during his Sign o' the Times and Love Sexy tours. Let me tell you, if Prince asked you to be on his stage, that was a pretty big deal. Her moves, her style, and her energy were legendary. And those music videos? You got the look in Alphabet Saint? Absolute classics, thanks to her electric presence. Kat passed away on September 24, 2024 at the age of 62. And you know what? Her influence on dance and performance lives on. She wasn't just a backup dancer, she was a pioneer. So, if you've ever tried to break out into a dance move in front of your mirror, you probably owe some of that inspiration to Kat Glover. Admit it. Now let's shift gears to Freddie Salem, an absolute Southern rock guitar legend. Born in 1952, Freddie brought the heat to the Outlaws, a band that mixed rock, country, and blues like no one else. Seriously, if you've ever cranked up Greengrass and High Tides, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Freddie joined the band in 1977, just in time to bring a harder, more aggressive guitar sound to their music. Tracks like Playing to Win and In the Eye of the Storm, those guitar riffs, pure magic. His style wasn't just about shredding. He had this way of weaving melodies that made you feel every note. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good guitar solo that makes you want to air guitar in your living room? Freddie passed away in 2024 at the age of 70. Southern rock lost a giant that day, but his contributions live on. So here's a thought. Next time you're in the mood for some old school rock, throw on some Outlaws, crank up the volume, and thank Freddie for the riffs that made the 70s and 80s unforgettable. And now, Katherine Crosby. You know the name, right? Actress, singer, and the wife of the legendary Bing Crosby. Born on November 25, 1933, in Houston, Texas, Katherine had her own moment in the spotlight before she even met Bing. She starred in films like Anatomy of a Murder and The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, but when she married Bing in 1957, her life took a whole new direction. Even though she took a step back from acting, she never really left the world of entertainment. She co-hosted The Bing Crosby Show and became a guardian of his legacy. And hey, can we just take a second to appreciate how hard that must have been? Being married to one of the biggest stars in Hollywood while also trying to maintain your own career? Hats off to Katherine. She passed away on September 20th, 2024, at the age of 90, leaving behind a legacy not just tied to Bing, but to her own talent and grace. If you're ever in the mood for a throwback, check out one of her films. You'll see why she captured Bing's heart and Hollywood's attention. Speaking of British icons, let's talk about Geoffrey Hinsliff. Now, if you're a fan of British TV, you probably know him best as Don Brennan from Coronation Street. Born in 1937 in Leeds, Geoffrey started off in theater, but it was his role on Coronation Street that made him a household name. I mean, who could forget Don Brennan's gambling addiction, his mental health struggles, or, let's be real, all those moments where you just wanted to scream at your TV. He played Don Brennan from 1987 to 1997, and after leaving the show, he continued acting in other British series like Heartbeat and Dalziel and Pascoe. He was the kind of actor who didn't need to be flashy. His characters spoke for themselves. Geoffrey passed away on September 15, 2024, at the age of 86 after a brief illness. Coronation Street fans, I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say, his role as Don Brennan will go down in soap opera history. And that's a wrap on today's tribute. We've remembered some absolute legends, people who, in their own way, left a mark on the world of entertainment and beyond. From the witty genius of Maggie Smith, the heart of Eduardo Xol, to the electrifying presence of Cat Glover and the southern rock sounds of Freddie Salem, each of them brought something unique to the table. So now, I want to hear from you. Whose work meant the most to you? Did Maggie Smith's role in Downton Abbey make you laugh? Did Freddie Salem's guitar riffs blow your mind? Let known in the comment. Thank you.